And that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Scores on a deflection. The Ann Arbor Huskies win their first state championship.
Welcome to Champlin Park High School. This the home of the Rebels, and this the home of girls high school soccer, coming your way as the Rebels play host to the Centennial Cougars on this, the second half of a twin bill, coming your way on QCTV. Joe Rulin joined along with Jim Childs. And Jim, a couple of teams here that last year went a ways in section play, even one advanced to state, the other stymied at the section championship.
Yeah, the Champlin Park Rebels, as you mentioned, lost to Mounds View. The last couple of years they've lost to Mounds View. Before that, like 2019, they were in the state tournaments. Last year, lost in a 1-0 shutout. And they've got a new head coach. They've got Alex Alvarez. It's his first year for the Rebels.
That it is. And meanwhile, you're going to look at the Section 3A champions from last year, Centennial. Centennial last year a mark of 14-3, even though they lost in the quarterfinals to Edina. They had a great route and won themselves and took over Section 7 3A for that championship. They're led by head coach Krista Carlson out of White Bear Lake High School. She played college soccer at South Dakota State, was a captain in all conference there, and also an assistant at SDSU. So some great stuff, some good look at some of it. Here's the thing with need to know when it comes to Centennial. They have two players that are returning that are all-star players. And one of them is Vanzi. And she led the team, one of the top leaders in goal scorers last year, Addie Vanzi. She had 14 goals. And then also led by Frost. That's Marissa Frost. And the interesting thing with Marissa Frost is she's already had a D1 scholarship next year to play basketball at NDSU. I've seen her play several occasions, and she's a baller, and she can hit some outside shots. And here in soccer, she'll be involved and in the mix and has a power leg as well. So interesting to see those two players get at it here. Again, story of the keepers, Jordan Metz, also a returner from last year for Centennial. She'll be between the pipes as the keeper for the Cougars as they get going. So it'll be a great one. You mentioned Champlin Park this season, 2-2, but they have been outscored 5-7. Meanwhile, in 2022, a record of 9-7-2. And, well, again, that heartbreaking loss, second consecutive year to Moundsview in the section final. This year they've picked up a couple of they've had to win a couple of wins, and that was a 1-0 win to avenge that loss over Moundsview, and then a 4-3 Holy Family win where Amara Easley, Kyla Keating, Riley Seisenbath, and also Sam Harbaugh scored for this Rebel squad.
Yeah, so for the Rebels, their goalkeeper will be Sophia Lehman. She has played the majority. She's played all but 3 minutes. She's given up 6 goals. She's had 20 saves, and she's got a 1.51 goals against. Of course, we're early in the season, so one game where you give up a couple of goals, and that will kind of blow your. Here's another need to know about Coach Carlson. She played professional soccer in New Zealand. And I don't know if you know, but the ball goes the opposite way down there.
Sure, of course, yeah.
On the southern hemisphere. Yes. I don't know why that is, but it twists a different way down there.
Different rotation.
Yeah, different rotation. So, yeah, just a little need to know there.
That seems like, that could be circling the drain, shall we say. So, we are getting ready. Final starting lineups. They caught us a little off guard with the starting lineups, so hence Jim and I did a great job of improvising. Looking forward to this matchup. And Centennial's the team, you see it a lot, that they play okay, and they do very well in the regular season, but then for some reason they hit that next gear. It's like they hit the switch when it comes time for the postseason. And last year was kind of another situation with that. In fact, they beat Andover in overtime 2-1, and then they came back and picked up a penalty kick win, 3-2 over a tough Blaine squad last year to advance to the state tournament. But they seem like they always kind of looking at strategy and kind of put it all together and then really hit the switch when it comes time for the postseason. But this year we'll see where they're at here. As I mentioned, they have some experience coming back, and the Rebels, they're going to try to get it right and go back up over 500 here if they can capture a win tonight.
Yeah, weather may be an issue later on. We're getting some reports that there is weather to the west.
I believe that was Logan's report.
Yes,
that the weather.
Exactly 7:30 it was going to start raining.
He is trending in terms of weather insight. If you want to find him on logan.weather.com, and he'll get you that update. So we are getting ready to rock, coming out, moving left to right. It will be the Rebels, and the wind may have something to do with this as well. If you talk to soccer coaches, they always say, Joe, wind. We got to keep it low. We got to play. We just got to grind it out. The wind doesn't make a difference. And I guess I'm just thinking for me and my golf game, that makes a difference.
Yes.
So the wind as we start will be moving more at the back of Centennial, right to left, and it will be the Rebels getting us underway here for the second half of this double feature on QCTV as we are ready to get things going here. And the Rebels, again, trying to get that record back up north of 500. Currently at 2-2. Rebels drop it back to their own box here and move it up to the far side of the field. A little triangular formation to kind of work some pivot on some passing up near midfield. Centennial pressures and now takes over possession on the turnover. Centennial far side of the field, short on that pass, just a miscue. And it'll be the Rebels reconvening on the puck, or excuse me, the ball as it rolls off the stick, then I should say, of Amera easily. Foot. So we are set here. Reichel with the throw in, the sophomore. Disrupted there and back coming the other way. Will be Centennial. They try to mount some pressure. You can always tell that back line is always so critical, and you never notice it really, until critical times, Jim, of the game. But that back line for Centennial also very strong.
Yeah, both teams are very strong. Keep an eye on the pink shoes on the far side. That's Olivia Mell. She's the one that Joe had mentioned as one of the stars and scorers for the Rebels.
Far side here, trying to get possession, get some spacing, settling it now, kicks it to the far side. That's Sipe. Trying to dig it out, disrupting that pass. The Rebels, it'll be a throw-in for Centennial, just underway on what many say may be the last of the hot and humid days in Minnesota, which I'm personally sad. I'm all for the heat and humidity. Back again, deflected. Centennial, Metz there, a return keeper for the Cougars, and not able to chase it down. That time was Reisdorfer. Throw-in will be for Champlin Park, and that's 19 Ivy Reichel. Set back to Blanchett. Trying to farther push it down the line, and now crossfield. Head up, an exchange there, midfield, and good takeaway. A good defensive play there made by Givens. Race to the ball, now full head of steam, cutting in, trying to set a pass with a left foot to the far side. Now controlled, settled. Trying to set it up and across the box here. Collision ensues there. Both players go down. Some hustle to reconvene that ball, settle it. Sipe, she sets it back, but now stepping in front of that pass are the Rebels. The Rebels try to move it up as they reciprocate that turnover. Back again on the foot of Blanchett. Blanchett tries to move it ahead along the far side of the field. Circling back, and now a kick in that missed on a pass to a teammate. The Rebels exchange it along with Centennial, back and forth over the midfield marker. Down low, here comes a run. A good chance evolving here for Frost. Look out, she's dangerous. Frost moving in, and there's the offside. As I mentioned, she is so athletic. I've seen her play a couple of times and called some games last year. One was at the state tournament, and she just was raining down threes. Good movement inside, too. She's got a good little spin cycle move as well down below. So congratulations to her. She'll be playing basketball at North Dakota State next year.
Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, you mentioned the defense, and the last rush by the Rebels, really nice job of just closing down those passing lanes where Blanchette really had nowhere to go with the ball and trying to get it over to Mel, and she just was covered up.
I've been watching the clock because it's probably in this last couple of weeks of life. I remember, just always remember football last year. It had that glitch. I'll talk more about it in a minute. Back in now. Here comes Centennial. Drop pass. That's picked up on the loose change and a good pivot, but taken away on an even better pivot move to get possession back. Frost, near side, moves inside the 18, gets closer, unleashes a pass, one touch over the top, and oh my, that I thought was going to be buried back of the net. Nice setup that time by Marissa.
Yeah, Frost with a nice job. He threw it right up to Sipe. Sipe just off the top of the shoelaces.
But last year, if you recall, Jim, or a couple of years, it would kind of almost like hiccup on the clock, almost like a mini heart murmur. Everyone to look at it and go, is it stopped? Nope, there it is. It skipped ahead 2 seconds and it made up for that time. But anyway, it was just something with broadcasters. We always kind of have fun with it. Anyway, I'll get it back to the game here. And the new clock is moving in here and the new scoreboard here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, what a great addition at Welby to this field.
34 and change remaining. First half, no score. It's the Cougars in the white, moving right to left here, trying to jump out early. Frost is nudged there a bit from behind, now moves back. Rebels get possession here, try to move it up, but it's hit there and knocked back down by Helvig. Race to the ball ensued, but not able to get there in time is Reisdorfer. This will be a throw-in for the Rebels.
I tell you what, Frost is such a weapon on that outside. You can see, even with the wind going against, which we saw in that first game where the play was on the far side, Frost has been able to kind of keep control of that side.
Sipe also comes in a lot of times. You can see that speed full throttle and really can kind of put some pressure on the D. Here's a through ball attempt. Look at that speed, busting through the Rebels. One time, shot, low, rebound, no, not to be had. Flash into leather while falling to the ground, and making the save is Metz after a nice shot on goal by Easley.
Yeah, Easley, you saw that is speed right there. That is, you can't teach that. She was on it.
Below, keeping possession, that's the key. Ava Madsen moves it ahead, but yeah, that is quicker than a hiccup speed, as you'll see from Easley all night.
Frost gets the commitment on the foul from the Rebels.
Easily one game-winning goal this season, and that's her only goal here thus far, but she certainly kind of creates some pressure with that speed. Free kick here sends it near the top of the 18, deflects back to the far side, where Centennial will exhale and now bring in some passing. A little footwork there, top of the 18, redirected back out to about the 40, pinching in defensively. Centennial wants to keep that pressure on Givens. Sends it down the far side, trying to redirect it off, deflected out of play by the Rebels, and this will reward the Cougars with a throw-in. Down low, high kick, top of the box here, goal box. Unable to cash in that nice high ball. Back down below is Frost, and she'll drop it back, or not Frost that time. A through ball here easily. Captured and pulled in there by by Sophia Lehman. I mentioned Lehman has had most of the playing time this year, Jim, for the Rebels. Back in, quick outlet, now a chance. Pinches in, now drop back in. Centennial tries to hold possession here. Pass inside, being chased. Left foot kick by Reichel. Misses to connect, and back now. Here it comes. A chance for Frost. Frost inside the back. Left foot kick. Crossed away. Deflected over the top, and already you've seen Frost set the table on 2 beautiful assists. Both left foot kicks on this near side, and the teammates unable to cash in.
You see right there, what a great cross, and just on the toe. And it goes over on that far end.
Jump back again, a good-looking shot just outside the 18, blistering in good position there to make the save was Lehman. Didn't have to move much. She gets a punt, but it hits at about the 35, and her teammate there tried to settle it, unable to do so. It'll be a throw in here coming the way for Centennial. Early pressure, 2 great opportunities for the Cougars, and then on the other end, the Rebels as well on an attack, led last time down by Easley. Rebels could not cash in.
Running the offense through Frost, she's got a good leg. So the goalie, Lehman's got to, respect the shot, but she's been great with those crosses.
Free kick now covered the way here for the Cougars. Helvig unleashes this one all the way to the top of the goal box, where it's secured there by Lehman. Lehman had Frost on the doorstep looking for the rebound, none to be had. Here's a punt. Gets near midfield, trapping Helvig. She'll move it up, and now the Rebels try to find an opening. They do, but now it's Centennial on the end of the ball after that opening. Helvig once again sends it to the far side, looking to reverse the field. They do, but they cannot complete the pass down the line, Centennial, and it's going to be awarded to the Rebels here with 29:15 to play in this first half. Scoreless. This one launched high in the air by the Rebels down to about the 20 after the first bust, trying to really get it settled, but this will be awarded here to the Rebels, who move down to take a good look here at a free kick at about the 20-yard line. Jim, who do we have over there? Is that Schellenberg?
It's Schellenberg over there. I'm looking at, I think, Bombardier is...
Tough to see the number. Here's the kick. Gets in toward the 16. A little bobble, but then controlling it and pulling it in is Jordan Metz.
Good decision by Metz to just get out and get through it. So, seen some hands on the head or hips of the Rebels. We'll see. And Bombardier will come out, who had looked like she was gassed, and Kuznierk.
When you are playing at this level in this humidity and this heat, when you get bumped, or sometimes you bonk your head, it's not a concussion, but it absorbs differently.
Absolutely.
It takes longer to walk it out and what have you. So
you got to use different muscles to keep your balance, and yeah, absolutely, you're right, Joe. It's and this heat it's still warm out.
Chipped away ahead by Helvig, up ahead. Centennial zigzagging their way, now settles the ball, sends it to the near side over to Frost. Frost sends it left foot down the line. Picked up by Sipe, knocked off of Sipe's foot, and it'll be a throw in for Centennial. They really do. They move well down this near side of the field, a throw in. It gets to Frost. Frost tried to seal off the pesky defender Reichel that time. They'll do another throw in. Will Centennial, 27 minutes remaining. First half, good strong move there by Frost. Guides it down the goal line. Now centers it. A chip shot just missed. It may have hopped over the top of the foot. I couldn't tell exactly what transpired with the blue paint in that end zone, but it was still another good setup. Yeah. I'll tell you, she is just the formula, the kind of the catalyst, you can tell, setting up other teammates, does Frost.
Yeah, she's been excellent. She's been kind of the Wayne Gretzky so far of the game. She's just dealing out assists.
Or the Messi. up ahead. On set, settling. Moving it down inside the box, making a run here. Here's a blast, far side beyond the outreached hands of the keeper, Lehman. You could tell something was coming with that speed and that separation, getting the gap, getting the corner, and trying to send one far corner.
Well, Lehman has been as busy as a beaver in a branch shortage. She is running.
Those are almost some Cam from Modern Family quotes I'm hearing coming.
Well, you know what?
Kicked out, rolled out here.
It's actually a Oklahoma saying.
Throw in. Another one, take two. Same thing, V2. This time Keating also. Kyla, Keating. Frost was there to try to settle, but disrupted, moved it upfield. Again, just a one touch so far, unable to settle on a sustained possession here in the last few minutes for the Rebels. Back up again. A touch pass back, and there's Sipe again, maybe a little too far ahead. You were going to say, Jim. No, here comes a run, still alive, moving in. Here's a shot side of the net. Go ahead.
Well, again, that whole offensive possession started by, closing down that passing lane and the defense stepping up and jumping on it. So I don't know if the wind has something to do with it. It possibly does, but the Cougars are absolutely, getting that 50-50 ball.
Rebels try to settle. One pass, and then it's diffused. Any rush. On the leg and on the foot here of the Cougars. They try to send it across. They're waiting for the pass with Easley. Easley bumps it up ahead. Tries to connect on a pass. And that's removed and redirected off the foot of the Rebels, and the Cougars try to work it up. Stolen there. Nice theft. On the far wing there by the Rebels. They're trying to feed it to him easily. A settle here out of play. A throw in for Centennial. 24 minutes.
You can see Mel on the far side. She's got some quicks to her too. She's number 10. She looks like she can run like a deer.
Yep, it was Olivia Mel who got that game-winning goal against Moundsview. A 1-0 win earlier this year. First game of the season, I believe, and the assist went to Harbaugh. Throw down the line. Centennial trying to regather. They just seem to be taking the attack. Here's a move. Good maneuver around top of the 18th. Leads it in. Tries to redirect. Goal! Slides it under the garage door. Goes lower. 90 to the left side. Beautiful touch pass and execution there by Centennial. And the Cougars are up 1-0.
Yeah, that's Isabella Sipe, who she's had a couple of opportunities. This one, she just buries it. Quick one-timer on the left foot, right past Lehman.
But again, those one quick moves, burst moves, get around, opens the lane, and then a deflection on a one-timer. And I'll tell you, there's nothing Lehman could do to that lower side to the left side, buried there. 1-0 lead for the Cougars here with 23:15 to play. More pressure. Now coming back, countering it, burying it back of the net, reciprocating in just a moment. Have been the Rebels, and we're knotted up at one apiece. Beautiful job of getting possession and then getting a quality look. And it's so much tougher to stop the low shot than it is the high shot. And here's another look at the.
That's her goal scorer. That's Olivia Mel again. She made no mistake. That's really her first opportunity, and she is a finisher.
Mel answers the bell and ties this thing up, reciprocates on the goal, and we're tied at 1-1.
That was good, Joe.
Just 23 minutes. Look at this. Here's a chance. Frost buries this one. Left foot back of the net. 3 goals in about a minute and 15 seconds. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything that you can do. Yes, you can. No, you can't. And bam. That was a power move by Frost and nothing. Again, Lehman left back there all alone. 2-1. What is the over-under on this game? 2-1 is that one buried by Frost. Frost picks up the goal, and Meanwhile, for the Rebels, it was Mel who picks up the goal to tie it. And Frost allows him to regain. Here comes Frost again on the foot. Back again from Sipe. Back to Frost. Frost in the corner. Puts this shot on. Oh, it took a strange hop. I thought that was destined for a corner kick. But off the spin from the turf, and the player is still down in the corner, therefore the Rebels.
That's
as you get a look.
Yep. That's Ivy Reichel. She's down still.
22 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 goals that came in about 75 seconds apart from one another. And as a result, it's still a 2-1 lead here for Centennial.
Well, that Frost-Sipe matchup, I don't know how you even take them out, even on a hot day like today, but you can see what Olivia Mell can do. Mell, in the open spaces, she was able to get the turnover and then bury that shot to get the Rebels back in it. And really, that's been the only opportunity, with the exception of the Eastleigh break earlier in the first half. Both goalies have played well.
When they're moving in that close and that much speed and that ball on their foot, it is so tough to come away and come up with something. And going low many times is so much more of a difficult save for a keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Than going up top. But it was Olivia Mell who went on the lower side of the net, the junior. Picks up that goal for the Rebels, and then reciprocating, as I mentioned, Frost just seconds later to allow Centennial to regain the 1-goal lead, as Reichel still down in the corner. The collection coming up that was quite a collision.
Just remember, the first game, the Centennial Cougars boys team shut out the Rebels 1-0. Second half goal scored by Centennial on a beautiful shot by Trio Menson. As we go, we'll see these guys again. We had some substitution. Reichel is on her feet. She's walking out right now, and we'll see how the Rebels will play it. Some confusion on who's going in. Now they've got the right substitute. As Ari Egan, the sophomore defender, will head back. So Egan in for Reichel on the near side D. And Joe, did you happen to see the other substitutions?
I haven't, but I will get them to you in just a minute.
Okay.
That would be a tough loss. Let's see if we can get Reichel back for the Rebels. She's already had a presence defensively here for the Rebels early in this first half. Tossing aside is Blanchett, trying to create a gap. Kind of leaned in there, but back again. Trying to reciprocate back. The Sipe sisters getting at it. Isabella with the goal. Gabriella there with the pass down low. Frost gets it. Frost back to the top of the 18. A little too long with the ball and the speed. Now the Rebels, they pickpocket that ball and move it upfield. Unable to control. After that initial pass, it went up ahead that time to Harbaugh, Sam Harbaugh. And lifted on a left foot kick back down to Frost. Frost pitches it ahead again and finally puts it back on the foot of a teammate. Isabella Sipe with it momentarily. Now to the far side, giving a run. And it's out of play, and it'll be a throw in for Centennial.
So in Centennial, you would think that with the new left or right D in, you'd probably try to get it over to Frost, who's been just a menace all day.
Yeah, she has got some speed. You cannot. She's tough to contain. On that far side, there's a shot goes side of the net. So getting some looks. And, hey, you scored a couple. Get some shots on. You want to kind of trust and see what you can do to see if you can test the hands sometimes of that keeper. Breaking loose here. Chance Blanchett. Stop back, try to get it to a teammate, but then she's bracketed defensively there by the Cougars. The Cougars now trying to redirect it. They reverse the direction rather, and head down the sideline. Throw in here again for the Cougars.
Be a throw in now for Champlin. Let's see. They start moving up. Like I said, the heat is on. You just you see a little bit more jump on the Cougars right now, conditioning-wise.
Dropped in and now down the line against the one thing you're seeing, just maybe a little bit more burst to the ball when it comes from the Cougars as they try to win those individual battles to the ball. Sometimes the Rebels are kind of hanging back just a bit, waiting for that ball to get there. Pickpocketed, a nice play there by the Cougars at midfield, losing the footing, but not the ball. The Cougars, they'll drop it off to the far wing. Send this up near the 25, turning. Sipe puts a shot on, just maybe trying to hit a little runner through to Frost, but she was heading the other direction up the field. Under 20 to go here in the first half. Explosive first, let's just say 75 seconds just a few minutes ago here in the first half. Left foot kick up the line, and this is redirected back up. Rebels send it back to the back line, and they'll launch it back up ahead, see if they can get an advantage through that. Rolls off of the Cougars, and the Cougars will fall back here on the throw-in.
You'd like to see the midfielders just push up a little bit quicker. One thing that was really impressive about the Rebels boys were, man, they were just, that ball just didn't stop when it went out of bounds.
Moving up far side, jumping the pass. That time it was Hamsky. Sipe bumped from behind. Directs it back up to the back. To the D. Oh, and trying to get by the defense was Reisdorfer. Sometimes you can see the clutching grabbing going on.
Yep.
Back down below. Centennial now works it, reverses, and brings it right to the far side. A lead pass left there for the back defender. Setting up and a look down the line. Here's a look and redirected off the foot. And that's going to go the way of Centennial, and a throw in there.
Yeah.
2-1 lead.
Brew, yeah. Carissa Brew with a nice stop on the far side.
Cougars looking to extend their lead to 2 goals. They led 1-0. Quickly tied there by Champlin Park. Seconds later on the goal by Mel. And then it was Frost. Let's just say Frost didn't let that ball get cold. She got possession on of it, and she iced the goalie and put it up 2-1.
Boom, boom.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know, it was basically 3 rushes and 3 shots in 3 goals. There was not a lot of possession time in between.
Back for who, and now clearing there. It was almost like an at-bat in Major League Baseball. They make him get back in, take the pitch. That's enough. Ready to go. The timer was on. So we'll get a specific sequence and time of those 3 goals. I'm sure everyone will not get any sleep tonight until they hear that clarity. Back again near midfield. Here's a chance for the Rebels. They settle the ball, bring it on back. That's Kala, Hayden Kala. Cannot sustain. Here comes Frost, top of the 18 in the corner. She's looking to create a chance here. One-timer, turning, firing. Lower shot and a beautiful save. Lunging to make it. Turn and fire, and a shot attempt that time by Isabella Sipe with a nice save. Put on that time by Lehman. But yes. Corner kick results in here, and I want to say this is our first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, Sipe did a nice job of just with traffic. Two defenders around her, be able to get off the shot. Lehman, great job with the save.
Low shot didn't make it to the goal box in the front end on that low kick. Back the other way. Here come the Rebels trying to catch the Centennial with numbers. This one off to the side. It'll be a throw in. And yeah, that time it was a nice, just kind of a quick blind shot by Isabella Sipe. Almost caught Lehman off guard, but she made a nice dive to make that save. Down below, here they come. Centennial, another push upfield. They're getting some spacing. Bigger gap, takes it, shot, sits aside, may have gotten a piece of it, Lehman, to move that just to the wide of the net. Good speed up on that far wing to the right.
And you can see that right now the defense for Champlin Park collapsing over to one side and as leaving that back door wide open. Frost standing all alone this last rush.
Taking a look and moving it. Trying to clear. Not able to do so. Sipe was there. Sipe has it back on her foot. Moves off. Again sent to the side. Takes a backspin bounce. Now to the far wing. Top of the 18, far side. Gets the spacing. Making a move. Finds the stop. Puts the shot on. Top of the goal box. And now forging back in to take another shot. It looks like out of pure exhaustion. She puts that shot over the top. I can't imagine the burst and the speed and running on this hot turf. And wow. Good effort. For the Rebels, checking in, number 17, Riley Seasombath. Riley Seasombath is in, and also number 21 for the Rebels is Ivy. 21, not Ivy.
We don't have a 21. We'll find out.
Check that out, and we'll run it back here. So, numbers back out, 13.5 remaining, and we saw a flurry of goals just a moment ago. After all said and done, 3 goals, and Centennial with the 1-goal lead, 2-1 lead. Not catching everything on that pass. Centennial jumps it. Now sends it to the near side to Frost. Frost settles it. Moves across to midfield, at least at about the 40. That pass picked up. Loose change, controlled, stop, redirecting against the grain. Launches this shot low, and a nice save made by Lehman. Great pressure. I loved how she was able to reverse the field and then put a quality shot on. I want to say that's Van Zee. It's tough to see from this angle. That's 16 on the far side.
Well, their front line is strong, isn't it? With Sipe and Frost and Van Zee.
21 in for Champlin Park. Thank Jim is Megan Collins. Megan Collins in now for the Rebels on the far side. I don't think anyone would have guessed those 3 goals in a short amount of time, even though Logan did guess rain by 7:30. Coming out to snuff out that through ball. Great play by Lehman. Again, those plays seem like they're easy, but when you're on that back line, they don't have the angle we do as fans or broadcasters from up top on when they come out. So you really have to figure out the speed and the pace of play and the speed of the opponent coming at you. But in that case, a nice job of diffusing that scoring opportunity for Centennial by Lehman. This will give the Cougars an opportunity here at the 40 for a free kick. Once again, this will be Helvig. She launches it near the top of the 18. Kicks it up, redirected, back out now. Pinching in, trying to get possession back. Good hustle. This from Helvig, who really got that free kick going. She sends it far post, trying to feed a cutter on that far side. Unable to get there as Lehman jumps in front of that pass just above the goal box. Lehman unleashes a punt to about the 40. The trap attempt there by Centennial. Kick back. And this will be a free kick awarded to the Rebels.
You know, seeing some of the physicality and some of the bumps and bruises that are happening out there. Thank goodness the turf is in. I mean, you think especially this field how tough it was when it was real grass.
settling it, kicking it back almost too soft as the Rebels tried to jump that pass. Van Zee as a Rebel in a mini headlock momentarily, back out, released. And now to the far side, kick to the corner, and Rebels try to chase it down. It appears they did not get to it. They whistled
so it'll be
for the offside. Well, they'll kick it back as a play. So it'll be a go kick for Centennial and Jordan Metz. Metz again, impressive year last year. The squad this year, Metz comes in with a goals against of .83. Moving it up, Metz after the go kick now, since Centennial again doing a great job of winning that. At least they get a foot on it to redirect. They're winning a lot of those individual battles right now on first to the ball. Deflected there, back again. Good touch pass. Here they come on the move, dropping it back to the far side, the wing, and now controlled by the Rebels. The Rebels stop, try to send a pass up ahead. Control out of nowhere comes Frost to defuse a run upfield there by the Rebels. Frost there, kicked up, now pinching it in to hold it inbound. Near side. Again, nice little touch pass down below. That was Reisdorfer. Reisdorfer, then teammate sends it across the way. We are in single digits remaining here in this first half. Under 9 to play. And a 2-1 lead for Centennial.
One thing that Isabel, Sipe, and Frost and that front line, Van Dies are doing, they're creating their own passing lanes. They're able to move to that open spot, and the Rebels are just kind of chasing that ball.
Back through, you can see they're running very strategic. Sometimes it requires you not to move vertically in this game, but horizontally, to kind of find that opening. A left foot ball down the line by Frost, sent out of play by the Rebels, which will result in a throw-in. Throw in here.
Alexis Larson comes in for the Cougars. Replaces Sipe.
Near side here, drops it off. Touch pass, top of the box in the 18. Sipe, Isabella that time just tried to redirect it back over to a teammate on the other side of the box. Good hustle to the corner. That might result in a corner. It is. Corner kick awarded. And I'll tell you, that's what hustle will do, and that energy. And now a corner opportunity. Corner look here is 7.5 remaining. Thanks for joining us. QCTV, Joe Rulin, Jim Childs. High lofting kick, bursting in from inside the 18. It hits traffic, bounces out. Rebels try to move it out to midfield. They do. Good speed here on that far side, trying to get some separation to take advantage of that speed. The Rebels player. After a turnover, back up on the near side, and first to the ball there will be the Rebels. And Rebels were kind of waiting for it to roll out, but it was awarded to Centennial. 6:50 to go in this first half.
Well, the adrenaline that pumped in those 70 seconds is kind of left for the Rebels and for the Cougars. The Cougars have just kind of dominated the time of possession.
The Rebels have looked like they've been playing downhill. You're right, Jim, and it is now a throw-in for the Cougars as Centennial has its second lead of the game. Led 1-0, quickly tied 1-1 by the Rebels and Mel, and then countered by Frost to regain that lead. And that's where we stand now, 2-1. Redirecting, trying to move it far side, and that kick goes right there, right on the doorstep, looking for the rebound, looking for the loose ball. None to be had. Lehman solidifies it with the glove save.
Yeah, she hasn't bobbled anything tonight. She is when she's made her decisions to stop the ball or catch it, it's been deflected the right way, or she's been able to handle it.
Down the line here, and I thought maybe the Rebels were going to win that race. No, so kick back to Metz, and then back again to Metz. She settles and sends a kick in the direction of midfield. Frost has it. Frost sends it to the far side, not quite as wide as they were looking, but it's back in possession again. Centennial. It's just like a push to the ball every time. Helvig on that back line has been playing very impressively here in the first half, as we're south of 5 to play in the first half. Centennial girls leading 2-1 in the first match. It was a 1-0 win for the Centennial Cougars over the Rebels. Shutout for Cheetah, the junior keeper for the Cougars. A throw in, and the Rebels loft this one high in the air, but just then it gives one of the Centennial players time to move underneath. Look at strategy change here. As you mentioned, the wind, Jim, is blowing for the most part left to right, which means at the back of the Rebels right now, they're going to have to find a strategy here or some trapping. The Rebels here to counter and create some more goal scoring opportunities. Here's the ball down low. First there, a kick back to Metz. Metz booms this one up, finds its way near midfield. A drop pass to Sipe. Sipe, a 360. Dropped in, down low, and back once again. Redirect, far side. Here comes a move. Setting in. Got the separation. Wants to get the leg. Now a boom coming. Top of the 18. Over the top. Hits the crossbar of the goal post. Just high on a shot that I believe came from number 16, Addison Van Zee.
Yeah, Van Zee with another rifle.
And 14 goals for her last year. She and Marissa Frost, the two returning all-state players for Centennial, and they've played to that level here with 3 minutes to go in this first half. Rebels try to get something going, but they're always just one pass away. But Centennial, it seems like they're in the right spot. That time it was the Rebels in the right spot to move it up and carry it out over midfield. Down to the far side. Here comes a through ball attempt. That's deflected nicely by the far defense for Centennial. 2.5 approaching in this first half. Still a 2-1 lead here for Centennial.
Yeah, coming in for the Rebels will be Kyla Keaton.
Kyla Keating in, and Rebels deflect, throw in once again as they work their way down the field along the far side. See if they throw this down the line. Centennial's got that covered, but off the rebound, they pick it up. Trailing just a bit, deflected now at about the 25. Centennial moves it up the field. Frost on the near side. Launches one ahead. Through ball opportunity. I don't know if they saw the runner coming from that far side, but a nice defensive play to guide that back there that time to Lehman.
Well, the Rebels can withstand the next minute and 40 seconds. They'll have a little bit more of advantage with the wind coming up in the second half. But they've got to keep the Cougars off the board.
Setting up, pinch it in, deflected by Centennial. They'll get a throw in for the Rebels. We're going to get a hard stoppage here at time with 1:19 to play, 1:18 rather. A couple of substitutions. Back in, good to see this, is Ivy Reichel. She returns, as does Maya Schellenberg.
Yeah, really, hats off to Ari Egan. who kind of jumped in and had to really take over that spot for Reichel.
Centennial reverses field, but on that passing, good burst of speed here by the Rebels. Jumping in front of that pass was Kala, and a throw it awarded. Kala here tries to get after it, pinching in. Here's a shot by Reichel that misses the net and eventually ends up beyond the goal line. So we'll get a goal kick here with 20 seconds left, and Metz will unleash it with about 7 seconds left in the half. Deflected, couple of headers, one
on
incidental. And back again, the Rebels send it near side. Want to get a shot off here. They cannot. We are at the end of the first half. A 2-1 lead, and some might say it was a flurry of goals in that first half, and a 2-1 lead for Centennial.
Yeah, great job by Centennial. They had the momentum early in the first half, and they were able to, break the seal with that goal. But the Rebels are only one goal away. I mean, they can tie this up as easily as they did when they scored that first goal. So it'll be a great second half coming up. Join us,
half number 2 of this late night double feature. Girls high school soccer coming your way on QCTV. It's the Centennial Cougars 2 and the Rebels 1.
Hi, I'm Mitch Carlson. I'm co-owner and general manager of Elm Creek Brewing Company alongside my partner, my dad, Wade Carlson. We opened up in June 2020 and we're just coming off of our 3rd year anniversary.
Over the last 3 years, Elm Creek Brewing Company has become a staple in Champlin as the destination for great beer and social gatherings. And now they're expanding both the space of their brew house as well as their involvement with the City of Champlin and their community.
This year, the City of Champlin invited us to be part of their Mississippi Crossings event that just opened up this year. It's been a huge success for us so far. We really appreciate the involvement in that. It's been really fun to see the whole community come together, see a lot of people that are regulars here, lots of new faces, old faces, people that I grew up with in the city. So it's been really fun to be able to see all that come together.
Mitch also gave me a tour of both the old and new brew house spaces to show me how much more variety and efficiency Elm Creek Brewing will be able to provide to their customers.
We opened up as a 5-barrel brew house. We only had 4 fermenters, quickly grew into what was 6, 8, and then 10 fermenters. We now have kind of outgrown that space a lot more rapidly than we thought we were going to, so we just added on an additional 3,500 square feet. We tripled the size of our brew house. We're now a 15-barrel brew house. We also upgraded into our own canning line so that we can do everything on site and nothing by hand. It's all automated, so everything's a lot easier. Our beer quality is going to skyrocket compared to what it was in the past. Alongside with our addition that we just put on, we are also upgrading our tap tree. We're going to be starting to put a lot more focus on easy drinking crisp lagers. It's something that all of us here have a passion for and love to drink. We're also going to have expanding our rare candy sour series as well as IPAs, different kinds of ales, Belgian wit beers, just a whole variety of that, as well as a larger barrel age program.
Alongside the expansion of the brew house, Elm Creek Brewing Company is looking forward to expanding their in-house summer attractions to be available for people of all ages. Make sure to check the event calendar on their website to see all their offerings throughout the year.
We're going to be doing a lot of family days where we have the whole back patio blocked off towards family-related events. So anywhere from like petting zoos, reptile demonstrations, movie nights. We have just got expanded seating and a grass area where people can relax, bring their pets, their children, hang out and enjoy a nice quality beer. We also, our Oktoberfest party every year has always been only one day. This year, we're expanding it to a whole week of events. It's gonna be focused mostly on lagers. It's gonna be called Logtoberfest. We haven't settled out all the details yet, but it's gonna be anywhere from 4 to 8 new lagers that we'll release all the way through the week, with our Oktoberfest release being the day of our big party.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
So I'm throwing a holiday party and I need some alcoholic drinks. So today I'm at the West Better Values liquor store, one of 2 Anoka locations. Right off the bat, I'm blown away by the selection. So I find my beer, I grab my wine, but I need some extra help assembling some cocktails. That's where Kevin comes in. Kevin is the operations manager for Better Value liquor stores in Anoka. But Kevin is so much more than just a manager. His level of expertise is extensive. So while Kevin shows me the ropes, he also explains the connection to the city of Anoka and why drinking responsibly is so important to Better Value liquors.
Friendly staff, convenient, a good selection. We're working on the selection and adding to it. So we're owned by the city of Anoka, so the residents of Anoka own us. All the money, all the proceeds, all the profits go back to the city. First and foremost, we're in the business to control the sale of alcohol by not selling to minors and not selling to obviously intoxicated customers. Number 2, generate revenue from alcohol sales. So control is the biggest thing. We check IDs for anyone that appears to be 30 years of age and younger, and anyone in a group. 28 years of experience and knowledge in a lot of areas. Still don't know everything about everything, but I can steer people in the right direction, help them out. Especially I love talking about wine, bourbons, craft beers. Yeah, we can find something for you. If you're looking for information regarding our stores, you can check out our Facebook page. There you'll find information on when we're having tasting events, in-store tastings, any construction changes.
So hey, if you are looking for more than just a liquor store, stop in to Better Value Liquors and say hi to Kevin or one of his many friendly staff members. The west location is located at 809 West Highway 10, and the east location is located at 847 East River Road. Hey, happy holidays, and remember to drink and to drive responsibly.
Here in Ramsey since 2018, so we're just over 5 years old. Total square footage is 56,000 square feet. Our middle area where our bathrooms and office eats up about 3,000 square feet. So our actually usable space is about 52 to 53,000 square feet that we are actually in use. So the facility was definitely built to maximize the usable space because we got to give every square inch to those people that are coming in to use it. In general, the idea of the facility is to accommodate youth activities. That's what the building was built for, is to provide, especially in the wintertime, the space needed for basketball, soccer, lacrosse, basically any type of sports training.
Adrenaline Sports Center in Ramsey features 3 70 by 170 new turf fields as well as 3 50 by 75 sports courts, big enough to welcome all sports.
And then events. The event side of our business is definitely taken off now, where we are filling up a pretty good chunk of May through October with events. We do everything from smaller craft shows. We host the Ramsey Business Expo. All those are, 400 or 500 people with like 50 to 60 vendors. We'll probably do more than 20 total events here in 2023.
Field and court availability varies throughout the year, and rentals for more than 2 hours are welcome as long as they fit into the schedule. Pricing depends on the day, time, and spaces needed.
A lot of our big users, our association users, are multi-year contracts, so they're in here using.
Centennial, this one. Well, they put together, these two teams manufactured 3 goals in 30 seconds, and as a result, Centennial came away with a 2-1 lead, and that's where we start here in the second half. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, Malik along with Logan on the camera out front. Thanks for joining us.
Well, the scoring started with a nice pass from Frost over to Isabella Sipes. She buried one, and then a turnover by Centennial seconds later as Olivia Mell put one in, and then repeats again seconds later. Frost scored, and the score, and within, like you said, within 30 seconds, we had a 2-1 score, and that's where it's been since the 25-minute mark.
I thought you might say repeat and rinse. And that's how quickly the goals came. It was just that fast. 2-1 lead as we get a look here. As Centennial will be moving left to right. Pinching up here, trying to extend their lead. Good keeper action on both of the ends. It's certainly been Lehman, who has certainly seen the brunt of the activity and many more shots on goal. But both keepers have played well here as we are underway, as the Rebels playing into the wind that they had at their back in the first half. And flag getting a little stronger here as we start the second half here, as Helvig does a nice job of navigating through a couple of Rebel players and dropping it back for one of her back defenders.
Yeah, first half, the aggressive team and the aggressive on the 50-50 balls were the Centennial Cougars. They really kind of took it to the Rebels on any free ball.
Near side here, drop back, and they'll drop it back to the keeper, in which Met will send it right back up to midfield, unable to settle it without a nice rebound, and rebound for the Rebels, had it momentarily, stripped away here, far side. Here's a run coming away. Van Zee has some juice going here, puts a shot on across the way, trying to find a teammate on that crossing shot. Almost tipped it in, but a great burst of speed that time. You saw why. She's a member of that all-state team from last year, Addison Van Zee.
Yeah, really nice play. You know, these three forwards have just done a great job of being able to control the ball on the offense and spacing.
You got it. She got some great spacing there. Back again, top of the 18, looking for a run, and Sipe and crew there seem to kind of just be pesky enough to get some bounces or getting first to the ball. Here's a far side again, stopping, settling it. Van Zee gets around, gets a left foot shot off. Nope, she's stripped as she goes down inside the 18. No whistles there, holding that ball in play. Back again, a little give and go back, a little too far of a lead that time, as a good idea by Gabriella Sipe. Just missing on that lead down. So, or did they call? Was it tipped? Nope, it is a throw-in for the bank for Champlin. They'll run it here near side. Gets the deflection up top in. I'll look here down below. Tips it back, and the Rebels move it up but not out. Deflected back in. The Rebels try to get a charge. Here comes some juice now, and a chance at a breakaway. You can tell that pure speed that comes from the strides there of Amara Easley. She had a good scoring opportunity in that first half as a result of that speed, but it was Metz who turned her away. Rebels again. Reverse it, try to hold possession and move it upfield. Tipped away, disrupted enough. It's a give and go back to the far side. That's Frost. Frost trying to get by. Good defensive stance there at the top of the 18. Good D play against a strong offensive player in Frost. Frost had set up her teammates for, I counted, 3 opportunities in that first half, and then she ended up cashing in on one herself. This will be a free kick here coming to the far side for the Cougars.
Simabath, they've switched Simabath and Reichel. They've switched sides on the defense, one to on the near side now.
Here's the free kick to the goal match, deflected off the post, rebound back into the goal. The third goal of the night for Centennial. What stick to it in this that time? Sipe will get credit for the goal. I just need to make sure I get the right number, if it's 22 or 23. But it all started from that rebound, a deflection, making a couple of nice saves, and then finally the last opportunity is buried at the back of the net. So Centennial early here has extended their lead from 2-1 to 3-1. And we're not quite 5 minutes in. That goal came 4:29 into the second half. We'll get clarity on who the goal was here in just a moment. Jeff on the PA will get us that. Top of the 18. A shot hits the back of the Centennial defender, but back at it on the rebound. The Rebels try to control. They'll bring it up front. Hit it far post, or far side rather, of the 18, but easy there for the Centennials. Get to clear it out of bounds. 3-1 lead as Centennial strikes early. 4:29 into this second half to extend her lead now to 3-1.
Gabby Sipe was the credited with the goal. So a couple of goals by the Sipe sisters.
So Sipe strikes, puts it up top. So a good one. And again, they are such an active twosome there with Sipes. They're busy. Those legs are always moving. Set up here. Down low. Lehman. Again, if you look at that goal, we get time later again to look at that third goal by Centennial. It was just, Lehman made, some initial save. I think got the second one, but then left all alone, no one to pick up Gabby Sipe for her first goal tonight.
Yeah, one thing's been impressive by both Sipe players is their ability to maneuver within traffic. And we saw Isabella Sipe on her first goal be able to punch that one in with a couple of defenders right on her.
Van Zee here, nice maneuver, gets around, sets it up, and you can tell she's got some explosiveness. She tries to cross again, another setup. Deflected out front, but she just knows how to pivot, get position, and get that edge. She's had 2 excellent crosses here in the second half. Sipes get that ball back away, but whistled for the offside as Van Zee was trying to hustle back as She was out of the play, but wow, did she ever make a nice pivot move and then a beautiful cross. But unable to convert thus far either of the teammates. I want to say that was, I want to get confirmation, but it might have been Van Zee who gave the dime to Sipe on that first half goal. Just put it on her foot, exploded, and Sipe just kind of guided it in. That was Isabella.
Oh, in the first half, that was Frost. That's what I had written down.
Popping up on that far side. So, get a look, and here's the kick by Lehman. Not quite far enough to pursue, but the deflection ends up on the foot of the Rebels. Here comes a move down the line, trying to speed there. All the way back to Metz, and she fires it out of play. Throw in at 32 minutes remaining here for a 3-1 lead and Centennial.
The wind is picking. It continues to pick up. We're seeing that flag basically at full blown, and you can see on the field that the line judge flag is rolling pretty good.
A throw down the line here. A couple of bounces. Race to that ball ensues. It's the Rebels who try to leave it off, but a little too soft of a pass. Almost a collision there. Lehman gets there just in time to chip it beyond the 18, but the loose change here, controlled. Moving in. Sipe down low. Now trying to bury. Turning, firing, getting the edge, kicking it by. Goal! Bottom 90. 4-1 Centennial. And they are controlling the pace in the play, and Van Zee, I believe, will get her first goal here tonight.
What individual effort right now. Strong on the ball, had a defender on her, and then able to turn and get free, get it onto her right foot, and powered it right past Lehman. Lehman, who's given up 4 goals and has had, honestly, a solid game in as a keeper for the Rebels.
Van Zee that time kind of positioned it like, say, a center in basketball on the pivot, as she did the same way to get the shot off on a corner. Kind of feels where that defender is, seals off that defender, takes a couple of good strong strides, and that time she got the separation enough to bury the goal. Lower 90. So now a chance here. Just under 30.
So Van Zee in the 49th minute.
So both of the all-state players for Centennial have struck tonight. Frost has a goal, as does Van Zee. 4-1 lead. We're about ready to go under 30 minutes remaining in this second half. A chance here for both teams as they also get at play again tomorrow night. The standings, I had this from last year too, just to kind of show you, hey, winning the Northwest Suburban Conference is one thing, but just kind of knowing when to hit that switch and hit that gear is another, as Van Zee trying to get another one loose. She's just so strong on the ball. And we are going to have a turnover here on a foul on Centennial. But last year, end of the year, the Northwest Suburban Conference, the girls, Blaine won. They were 10-0-1. Outstanding team. Andover was in second, 9-1-1. Centennial third, 9-2-0. And then Champlin Park 4-5-2. Anoka at 2-9-0. Well, Centennial represented Class 7 3A in the state tournament. They got an overtime win. Here's a chance now. Motion, some pressure, stepping up is Metz and says, get that thing out of the 18. She's sniped it out of there back near midfield. But it was Centennial, the Cougars, who put up, they got a win in the quarterfinals and the semifinals at Andover. It was Centennial who got an overtime goal to win that 2-1. And then it was Centennial who got the penalty kick win over Blaine to get the W and advance to the state. And that's just kind of, it seems like it's always the mantra for Centennial, is they get themselves going, they learn from their losses, they make the adjustments, and then they come postseason, they kind of start hitting full throttle.
Well, I tell you what, the offensive front line, it needs to be reckoned with. It's something you need to talk about before the game. There are some athletes up there.
Down below, far side again, Van Zee. A left foot kick to the far wing. Moving in low, good move, circling around, now setting it up on the doorstep of a redirect that just made a toe shot that time, as Van Zee had to stretch to get a foot on it, and that thing just ran wide of the post. Chance for her second goal, but a beautiful setup. Coming along the baseline, a teammate there just kind of dipped and dashed and put the dime out front.
Well, that was Frost again. Frost is just, she can get around that defense with her speed and her body positioning as well as anybody I've seen in high school.
And around now on the rebound. Deflects, picked up. And hit back up right now. It just looks like Centennial is starting to kind of drain the rest here of the Rebels as the energy level. You saw that in the first half. You saw Centennial kind of win first ball. and that just continued. They kind of jump up, step into a pass. And it looks like at this point, and plus the Rebels are running into a wind here in the second half. It's just starting to take its toll as Centennial has not only, controlled the first two, but they've had possession of the ball for much. When they hold it and they make those runs, they move it around meticulously and continue to try to set up some dimes or find those open alleys. And when they don't have the ball, they're moving, if it's vertically or horizontally, to create an opening for the teammate to find them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe. The passing lanes that they're able to create has been the difference. They're really good to know from Joe.
Left side here back in Centennial. A 4-1 lead. There was a spurt of about 30 seconds in which 3 goals were scored in the first half. First goal was by Isabella Sipe as she took a nice dime from a teammate and just tipped it right in low side to beat Lehman. It was the Rebels who countered in that goal by Mel, Olivia Mel, as she tied it up at 1-1. Then seconds later, it was Frost who lit the lamp and got the goal. Now Frost again sets it up, cuts inside, just trying to do a crossover that time. But a nice defensive stint there by the Rebels. Disrupts and does not allow Frost to get by. South of 25 minutes to go here in the second half.
A really nice play by Carissa Brew, I'm sorry, on the defensive side there.
Brew it was. Substitution here, I think I saw for the Rebels come in. If that was Lila Bombardier. Back at it, setting it up here. A look, and you've kind of seen when I watched the players come off in that first half and early in the second half with their head coach Krista Carlson. She would coach him, walk him through. You could tell she was kind of redirect on a strategy of what to do next time. And you could just tell the players enjoy having her as that coach as well. We'll see if done for the night here is one of the Rebels coming off as maybe a good second half to allow some of those to get some additional playing time. I'm still trying to read the jersey. Is that number 10 that's off? Now it is for Centennial. Looks to be Sophia Daigle. Down low, pivoting, good move, good separation, diffused back outside the 18. Here's a move down low, stopping, trying to feed, but didn't quite get the goomph on that one to get enough conviction to push it back to the teammate, but it was kicked out of play by the Rebels, and so a throw-in sets up here for Centennial. Hamsky, number 11, had it there, and now Hamsky will get it again for a bonus throw-in. Tries to get it to the tip of the 18, trying to work it by the defender there. A good push, and this will result in a deflection and out of play. I thought maybe a corner at first. No, it'll be a goal kick.
Van Dies, you saw right there, that was a great angle of the way she's able to use her body and stay strong in that ball. Really nice positioning.
Chirped up, disrupted there, sitting in front now, down low. Handling it, moving it. Here's a run to the ball, but get in there first. The defense of the Rebels, they try to work it to the outside, and now they're going to call a little clutch and grab that time by Sipe. So that fouls on Centennial, and this will be a goal kick for Lehman and the Rebels. 4-1 lead. It was 2-1 at half for Centennial, and they've extended that lead with 2 additional goals. One by Gabriella Sipe and the other by Van Zee. Knocked to the turf. She quickly gets back up. Nice left foot kick right there to the middle. Charging in. Trying to unleash a shot that time, but went off more the shin than the foot itself by Helvik. Hitting a moving target, tough to do, especially when you're running in this heat.
Now, it's kind of interesting. Easley and Mel have been off for a while. Wonder if Coach Alvarez is just working, trying to do some different things with some younger players. But both are really strong. I'd like to have them out there against a good team like Centennial.
Back in, and now's a chance, a race here. Bolting a shot. Lower 90 goal! A beauty one. She unleashed it from just inside the 18. It goes lower 90 for her second goal of the night for Van Zee.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that was another missile that came off the right foot of Van Zee.
You could tell she just needed just that small space. As you see, she got positioned just inside the 18 and launched a lower 90 shot to the right side of the goalie. And Lehman that time, it just, she can snipe the ball from anywhere on the field. Can Van Zee, and her second goal of the night. And that will give Centennial a 5-1 lead. But there's just no quit here for the Cougars.
You know, we've talked a lot about that front line of the Sipe sisters and Frost and Van Zee. This defense really has not given up, other than one mistake, has not really given up a lot of opportunities and scoring opportunities for the Rebels. That has been as strong as the front line.
Addie Van Zee, again, her second for the 2022 All-State player. Moving up. Sipe challenges. Van Zee gives a run, trying to push the temple as we're south of the midway mark here of this second half. 19 and counting, and right now Centennial in control with a 5-1 lead. 4 unanswered goals since it was tied midway through or deep into that first period, the first half rather.
Yeah, Centennial came in with only 1 goal scored this season. And eruption, I think, is the correct terms, as they tied White Bear in the first, and then last week a 0-1 loss to Stillwater.
And Stillwater certainly one of those top-ranked teams in the state this year. So that speaks volume on their play. There's Van Zee, gets it back. Gets another look, another cross, looking for a teammate on the other side. Frost that deflects up, top of the 18. Redirected, left kick blocked that time by the defense. Sipe regains. Moves it back behind, and now it's deflected high in the air. The Rebels will get there first on the far side. Takes an odd carom. You see that on this turf sometimes. If a spin existed, that one took a weird hop and it came back in on the Rebels player, and it actually rolled off her foot. There's Frost. There's no stop there. Frost looking to center. She guides it and escorts it down low. Controlled just outside the 18. Kicks it back. A little give and go back by Frost. A shot side of the net. A good look that time. And you've seen that kind of evolving the whole night. When in doubt, they kind of go to the give and go. And almost knocked in their 6th goal.
And they're good at that. They just have a knack of knowing where to go and where that player is going to be.
Goal kick here for Lehman. Team here for the Rebels. Certainly a younger team as well. Back again, and right now the Cougars, they don't look like a team that's had any trouble scoring goals.
No.
But you look at the level of teams they played. That Stillwater team is very tough. In fact, I think they are ranked number 1 currently in the state. I can't confirm, but I would say they're 1 or 2. So a 1-0 loss to the Ponies certainly speaks volume. Coming back here, through ball, trying to get it to Frost. And I mean, look at the hustle. Frost just won't stop. She gets it to the side, keeps it alive. Now tries to center it up. A deflection inside the 18. This is Z again. She was going to unleash a shot, and she had a collision just inside the 18. Both players get back up, running this one out of play over the Rebels, and this will result in a throw-in for Centennial. Centennial and Hampsky. This game well in hand. Van Zee looks for the moment, just looks for that pivot, trying to field that defender. Sipe takes a walk through the 18 and then hits the turf. You can see her just navigating it through and by a couple of defenders. Helvig had it momentarily again. Back to Sipe. Sipe now to the far side defender. Under 16 to play. 5-1 lead. Looks for the through ball here, but it will be all. The Cougars getting there first. Not a lot of depth as you look at players on the bench. I guess 6, maybe 7 there for the Cougars. Through ball, kicked it up on a hot, humid night. I can only speak from the press box, what it's like out here. But the hot air that Jim is pumping out has really kind of elevated the heat and humidity in this small space. 15-20 to go. A run here by the Rebels. They'll make a kick and a few bounce on. Easily handled there by Metz. You can join Jim and I for some more of that heated discussion coming up on Friday as the Andover Huskies have a great matchup. I'm looking forward to that call against Mankato West. What a matchup. I was so impressed with that win for Andover over St. Thomas Academy last Thursday. Just they had that thing in hand easily by half.
Yeah, they could have scored 90 on a team that hadn't lost since 2017 at home, which is that's quite a 34-game win streak snapped. I mean, pulverized by the Huskies.
Definitely this a bit disheveled team, the St. Thomas Academy. I knew they had a new coaching change, but wow. So number 3 coming in for Centennial, Alexis Larson. And then I'm trying to catch a couple of the other. Trying to get the rest of those numbers that were coming in. If that's maybe number 6, a Kennedy McDonald as well as I look for some of the other rosters. And then if anything else, I'll just be making names up.
Yep. Jeff Smith.
Yes.
Jody Anderson. Yep.
You got it. It is a what? Stoppage of play, but for what?
We had an injury, I think.
13:53 to play, and
I think there was an injury. Samantha.
Sipe now forwards it. Head now kicks it back to the far side. Here's, I mentioned some players. Not much playing time this year. We'll get a chance to get some varsity time. You gotta like to be on that near the ball when Sipe is around. He creates those opportunities. So calling it a night has been Van Zee and also
Frost.
Yes, it was. They'll let Marissa Frost cool down on the bench for the night.
It keeps coming. It just keeps coming.
I enjoy watching the athleticism. When I watched her play basketball and called a few of the games, I'm like, gosh, she's got some good post moves. She can hit some threes. And then watching her on the soccer field, I was like, wow, she's got some skills. She could probably take a scholarship in either sport or others as well. Impressive with that. And then Van Zee, her performance. Combine that effort with the Sipe sisters, and then defensive on the back line. The play of Helvik. You see her, Hamsky. Just impressive. So their team playing well, and plus they get the experience of Jordan Metz as the keeper.
Yeah,
coming back again after a nice year last year.
Yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in Section 7.
And in the Northwest Suburban Conference.
Yep.
So certainly Maple Grove year in and year out. Is that it? I thought the funniest quote I had tonight, in knowing Brady as well as I have, and he has obviously coached a daughter of mine for several years in Premier. And he said that loss in Maple Grove to Maple Grove when they lost 1-0 in the section final was the most fun loss I think I've ever had in my life. Just the effort that the team put forward. They played so well. You're speaking about his Rebel squad, that it was just a great game to be a part of, and just to see that. And you don't often see that. He's an extremely competitive guy. He's played D1 soccer, but to have him say that, it was it really revealed kind of his openness.
Yeah. They went everywhere but the scoreboard is kind of what he said, and they were able to do what they wanted to in a tight game, except score.
Tonight they take the loss, and it was just a matter of just, unfortunately, a turnover 4. And centering attempt here coming in, follow-up shot, looking to get their 6th goal here, Centennial. That's diffused by the Rebels. And yeah, nonetheless, excellent coach. And the Rebels, of course, lost a lot of goal scorers. They lost one of their going to be top goal scorers before the season started with a broken leg. So missing additional scoring punch, but they'll be fine. Always like the losses earlier in the season versus later.
Well, you can lose as many as you need to until you hit the sectional. And then then the losses really count.
Here's a run, backside, controlling, Sipe, turns, fires on the doorstep. That goes right down the goal line. That was like walking a line. No one there to punch it in. And I'll tell you, Centennial's had 3 or 4 of those plays. And that one, I think, was Isabella Sipe who set that one up.
Yeah, again.
If not Isabella, maybe it might have been. Is it 21?
Oh.
That was Cunningham on setting that up, but nonetheless, an effort up and down here by the squad here for Centennial.
Rebecca Ott will come in for Lehman. And so they'll have a goalie substitution, get some more minutes for Ott, who's got 3 so far this season, and he'll get 9.5 here late in the second half.
Oh, and Lehman certainly got a couple of weeks worth at least tonight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
As Centennial had that swag and moved it up and down. Another chance here for Ott, who's just in, and this one snapped off the toe and over top of the crossbar. Just lifted it a bit. But when you got that velo going and that speed, sometimes that ball just drops in the wrong spot. But again, Sipe with another scoring opportunity there. Ott getting some quality time. There's nothing like game time. I know you can have great practice time, but there's nothing like getting game time.
Yeah, you never know when your number is going to be called. Right now, Lehman is goalie 1, but 1 injury, and Ott is in there. And this is, like you said, valuable minutes for the keeper.
We are at 8:20, and apparently my number was called, Jim, and Ryan said that's way too many syllables already, Joe.
Okay,
but
so you're out.
I'll keep it on it, and
okay.
We'll let the mojo carry us through. Just under 8 as these teams get ready. Later in the week, they go at it again, and in doing so, you get a lot more of the high school resuming, and it's the classes back in. Now you're getting full throttle with all the athletics and activities back in play. Football, along with that, coming this week. And Jim, who do we have coming up here for the next team for Centennial or the Rebels?
So Centennial's got a tough matchup. They'll be home Thursday against Maple Grove, and then they'll take on Rogers. Nice save by Ott out there. It's amazing. This is their 5th game for the Rebels. We just started school today, and they're almost 33% done with their schedule. And they have Totino. They'll be at Totino Grace and then at Andover. So it doesn't get much easier for the Rebels.
Sipe sends it back. Puts that on the foot again there of Hampsky.
You look for easy, games in your schedule, and when you're in the Northwest Suburban Conference, there just isn't a lot.
Not much of a break there as Centennial takes it to the corner, try to find the gap. Now they'll on to attack, moving in, trying to feed one-timer shot. Beautiful save by Ott, going one side to the other, and then finding the gap wide open on the opposite side of the net. Centennial lights it up for goal number 6. 6-1 now for the Cougars, but Ott came over to make a fantastic save from one side of the net to the other. And made an initial nice save here.
A beautiful save. Larson with a nice cross. And I believe that's Verke. Yeah, Gabby Verke with the goal. Oh. Sorry, that was... is that Presley?
That was Presley...
Nepo?
Napoti, I'll just get a check here with Jeff. I had thought maybe you were right with Verke. But who knows? Jeff's over there by himself, no one to argue with.
Yeah,
and contend that. So,
and he's the official scorer, I believe, isn't he?
6-1 lead for the Cougars. We'll try to get that right call for you here as we wrap it up here. Again, more broadcasts coming your way here on QCTV. Stay with us. High school football. Here's a run now by the Rebels coming down, and they try to lift one and hit the side of the net on their rush down the field. Just missing.
It looks like it might have been a JV player. Kendi McDonald, number 6, is what I've got on. But we'll get the official scoring.
4:45 to play in the 6-1 lead as Centennial en route to a big win tonight. Rebels will fall now till 2-3 on the season, if not for a miraculous comeback. But hey, the Rebels are right there, advancing, growing, and then there was a Mel with the lone goal so far tonight here for the Rebels, Olivia Mel. And you've also seen, just a variety. You see the depth of Centennial too, in terms of the goals that were scored by a plethora of Cougars out there.
Yeah, Sipe, Frost, Van Ees.
Sipe sisters.
Yeah. And McDonald.
It was. Congrats to McDonald picking up that goal. As we are now south of 4. And keep in mind, that came off of a beautiful save by Ott, who moved across to make the save, and just a snipe of a shot that was inside the box. And that's how the rebound occurred. But McDonald was there to bury it, as she was crafty enough to bring it back to the other side of the net, and which Ott just came from to make the initial save. So south of 3 to go.
Well, what's great is, hey, we're south of 3, but we still have, and the intensity coming from the Cougars and from the Rebels. The shot, that one is going to go wide.
Had a good look, but a lot of hook on the shot. As we make the way past, a Mets on a good outing as well, but a team here for Centennial. Looks like they've already hit mid-season stride. As they come away with the big W tonight in the backyard of the Rebels.
Well, you mentioned that both teams will be strictly now, Northwest Suburban, and they've got Rogers, Anoka, Elk River, Osseo, and Coon Rapids coming up through mid-September, and then it's not going to be too long. We're going to be talking about playoffs, and it's so these games are important.
Well, you get the confidence, you get the time out there, you kind of get to see each other. I'll tell you, those Sipe sisters are truly just igniters out on that field. That buzz, that energy. When you move that fast and that quick and you're so intuitive to the ball, you create those gaps because they got to cover. You also saw Centennial, time and time again win that first battle of the ball. Far side here, trying to move in and pull back for a shot. That's going to be a corner kick opportunity.
Well, looks like
my understanding is looks like a player down for the Rebels on the far side.
I think that's Mel.
Late in the game, and I don't want to underestimate it, but boy, certainly a lot of hot night like this, a lot of cramps. But you can put all the water down you want, and you're running and competing at this level.
Yep.
It's going to set in. They are going to go to a corner kick.
Yep. So that's Olivia Mel down. It's cramps is what it is. And
coming up here, running down the field is Metz.
Jordan
connect
Metz.
with the teammates, and they're going to put somebody else in goal and maybe see Metz if she can collect an assist or something here.
Tally one.
Did you see the energy and the burst she came out of that keeper box with?
Oh, yeah. Well,
somebody said, get out there. You can get up there and see if you can get a goal.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, get out in front. She's there. We'll keep an eye on Metz here on this corner attempt and check and see on the condition here. Mel, as she comes off, she has the lone goal tonight for the Rebels. And I'll tell you, yeah, those cramps can hit you in a hurry on those calves. Or
usually about 3 o'clock in the morning.
If that was Metz, 10.
Yep, it is.
Here we go.
It's Mel.
A quarter. A corner attempt here. Keep an eye on Metz. Metz tries the header. Almost gets that through. She tries another header. And almost rolls that one. Ideally, you know, you're always trying to put that header down to the lower 90, and that's where she went with it. There's a shot from just outside the 18 and gathered in by Ott. So Ott getting some activity.
She's fared well.
She came in with just a little over 10 minutes to go. Moving it upfield. You can still see some physical play, and hey, actually, there's not a lack of competition on that field tonight here.
No, not at all.
6-1 and 15 seconds left, but there's no one stopping. They're getting at it. And tonight, it's the Centennial Cougars who exchanged the lead and took the lead during a 30-second scoring spree by both teams in the first half. Once the Centennial Cougars got that 2-1 lead in the first, they never relinquished it and put up, at that point, 5 unanswered goals when it was tied 1-1 to take 5 unanswered goals, a 2-1 lead at half, Jim, and then they just dominated here in the second half with 4 unanswered goals to take home a 6-1 win over the Rebels.
Yeah, a good night for Centennial in that front line. That they'll continue to tune up, and that'll be they'll be just tough, and they're going to score some goals. And the Rebels, even though Sophia Lehman gave up 5 goals, man, she played well in that, and that will come. As long as that confidence is still there, that'll come to help the Rebels later on.
Hey, thanks for joining us on this double feature boys high school hockey. It was Centennial who defeated the Rebels 1-0, and then in the girls play that just ended here, it was an impressive win for the Cougars. They get a sweep tonight at Champlin Park. They pick up a 6-1 win. The girls Cougars take over and get a win over the Rebels tonight on QCTV. For Malik, along with also Logan, for Jim Childs, I'm Joe Rulin. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night double feature girls high school soccer on QCTV. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price.